Helen, thanks for joining us on World Now. We're beginning from the Californian city of Los Angeles in the United States, where protests against immigration raids have turned violent. The first protest lost some heat overnight as the agitation entered its third day today. We have more in this report.
The Los Angeles protest is continuing for a third day, with vehicles set on fire and reports of looting. The protests have been mainly limited to downtown Los Angeles. A BBC report says a British photographer was shot with a sponge bullet and an Australian reporter was shot with a non-lethal bullet while she was reporting. A car went up in flames at an intersection where protesters gathered Saturday afternoon. A large scale of looting was also reported. Protesters clashed with soldiers on Sunday afternoon after a crowd gathered near the Metropolitan Detention Center downtown.
California Governor Gavin Newsom says that this chaos is exactly what President Trump wants.
President Trump, who promised to use his presidential powers to clamp down on left-wing excesses during his campaign, called in the National Guard against the desire of the governor of California, Gavin Newsom. In a post on X, government officials in Los Angeles are calling for protesters to stay peaceful as National Guard troops have been deployed in the city. The mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, says she has met with Governor Gavin Newsom and law enforcement agents to discuss public safety. During a news conference on Sunday evening, the head of the Los Angeles Police Department, Jim McDonnell, said that 9 people had been arrested, 29 on Saturday and 10 on Sunday. Mr. McDonnell also emphasized that there will be no tolerance for lawlessness.
Since the beginning of this incident, what we saw the first night was bad. What we've seen subsequent to that is getting increasingly worse and more violent. Tonight we had individuals out there shooting commercial-grade fireworks at our officers. That can kill you. And we have adapted our tactics to be able to have a chance to be able to take these people into custody and to be able to hold them accountable.
The Los Angeles protest erupted over rumors of immigration raid at a hardware store.
And for more on the arrest in Los Angeles, the President Emeritus International Stability Operation Association, Doug Brooks, joins me now from Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. Good to have you join us on The World Now. Well, we've seen the California governor and other Democratic colleagues in other states agreeing that this is an alarming abuse of power, sending the National Guard against the will of the state governor and the government itself. Is this legal?
That's a really, really good question. It may or may not be legal. I mean, technically, the president is supposed to call or use the Insurrection Act, which he has not done. The Insurrection Act essentially says the president's allowed to use the military to prevent a domestic or international insurrection or attack. He hasn't done that. And so he's basically going around the state to use these National Guard troops. And so probably illegal. It'll probably go to the courts and Trump will probably lose this one.
And there's been a longer, standing conversation about the crucial role of immigrants in small businesses in the United States and, the economy at large. But, well, with some of them being undocumented and with this going on, what do you expect in the next few days if these rates continue?
Well, this is definitely going to hurt the U.S. economy. It's very interesting. The U.S. Immigration system has become very complex and bureaucratic and made it really difficult for essentially seasonal migrants to come and work in agriculture or for migrants simply to come and work some of the jobs that native-born Americans won't do. So forcing but they're doing a lot more than that, and we're now seeing that they're actually deporting families that have children who are American citizens, because of course, if you are born in the United States, you're automatically a citizen. So this is unprecedented. This is causing a lot of disruption in communities, and as you pointed out quite correctly, this is hurting businesses. This is hurting agriculture in the United States, and this is going to have a very, very significant multi-billion-dollar impact on the U.S. economy.
Well, in Trump's campaign, when he, promised to go after criminals, one would not have expected this, looking at the aggressiveness of these federal agents. But two issues in the spotlight here, which is the policy of this administration, which they are protesting against, and the tactics used by the federal agent to carry them out. But some critics say that it's not really about restoring order in the United States. It's about Trump trying to shift attention from some of the setbacks of his policy. Do you agree with that statement?
I don't. I think from the first administration, Trump administration, to this one, it has a policy of being chaotic, and I don't know that that's deliberate or planned. I don't honestly think that President Trump is that savvy or intelligent to be able to pull something off like that. He just makes these decisions off the top of his head. And people act on them, and it's unfortunate. So that's why we see a lot of poor planning, a lot of policies that they don't think about. They don't understand where these policies are going to take them. So, this policy of going into these states where and trying to root out immigrants who have literally been there for decades is having some serious blowback. And this includes among some of Trump's strongest followers in some of the so-called red states that supported him. They're starting to push back with the idea that anybody can be deported if they don't have their documentation in order.
It's also raised concerns about, the perception about this administration. We've seen Trump tweeting on Truth Social, his social media platform, calling these people paid insurrectionists. But how dangerous is this statement at this time?
Well, he's trying to rile up his base, and I think he's doing it successfully. There's a lot of people who are saying that, this is an insurrection, and therefore, that means that we can bring out the Marines and everybody else to go after people who overwhelmingly are peacefully protesting these moves. And so, yeah, it's extremely dangerous. Many commentators are saying we're reaching a sort of a pivotal point in American history if this continues and this sort of overweening big government policies that Trump has embraced continue, that this is a real challenge for American democracy. It's a challenge to basically the peace and freedoms we've had for over 250 years now, almost 250 years.
President Emeritus, International Stability Operation Association, Doug Brooks, thank you for talking to us.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Let's turn our attention to Colombia. A presidential candidate